Hello and good evening, everyone. Tonight, my wonderful guest of the Gold Diggers TV show is the wonderful Sarah Elfass, and she is a business coach for women. Welcome, welcome. It's so wonderful to have you, Sarah. I'm really normally very excited and enthusiastic about a lot of things in life, but today I'm very, very excited because I think you're an incredible woman and you've got an amazing story to share with all of our audience. So first of all, let's get straight into business. So I know obviously you are a business coach and you work predominantly with women. But I think what's super interesting about you and what's different is you didn't take the route that I see majority of people taking. So not going through the corporate world or going into, working for someone else, but actually pretty much straight from education. You decided to go against all the odds and dive straight into your own business. And I think that's really interesting because so many people feel like they need to get years of experience and learn on their jobs to then be able to set up their own businesses and to have confidence. But you have gone literally straight in, diving deep. So I just wanted to hear what motivated you to do this, and also what were the hurdles like? Was there anything that was challenging? Because this isn't a very common thing to do, to go straight from school into your own business.
Yeah, it was definitely tough in the beginning. But at the same time, I was like, you know what, this is something that I want to do. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to start. And it was kind of like, I just Googled getting a business license in the US and in my state, how to do it. And I just kind of went for it. I was like, what name should I choose? And then I was like, my grandma had actually just passed away in August. And so it was, I named it after her, and it was something because she's always been there for me and stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna name it after her. I got a business license, and let's go for it, And so I actually, for a little period of time, I did decide that I wanted to go through the corporate world a little bit, just because that's what everyone was telling me after college. They were like, oh, what are you doing next? That was kind of the question, and I was like, I don't really know. And everyone around me in college and my friends, they all had jobs already and stuff. And I was like, I had a job for college, but I was like, I don't really have something afterwards. And it's not something that I really want to do. I was like, I really want to do my own business, but everyone's telling me that I should go through corporate America, go through that way. So I started looking into it, but I was like, I don't really like anything, and there's nothing that really sticks out to me. And I know that I could do something that I really enjoy, and I can do it really well. So and that's when I decided to just dive right into it. And then I got my license, and then started reading a couple books about doing Amazon, doing products through there and how to sell, and kind of learned a little bit, and then kind of went through that, decided that I don't want to go through Amazon. I want to go through my own stores. So I did my own stores. I can do my own fulfillment, so I can kind of do quality control and everything, see the packaging, what I like, and then, but many stages in that business. And then I decided I actually really enjoy doing a service. And that was one of the things that when I wanted to start a business, I wanted to do a service in the beginning. And I was like, I don't know what kind of service I do. I don't really have experience in a lot of things. So I just graduated. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just do something else. But I never really had the idea of business coaching in my mind until I was like, hey, I have a lot of experience in doing this. And I did everything all by myself. I don't really, there's no entrepreneurs in my family, except for my uncle, who's actually an entrepreneur. But I was like, my immediate family wasn't really into it, so they didn't really understand. They supported, but didn't really understand it. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna do it, and we'll see what happens. So it was a good experience. Pretty difficult, but it had a lot of mistakes learned from that.
Wow, well that leads me to a lot more questions, but I think it's such a wonderful thing that you named the business after your grandma. I think that's really lovely. And I also think it's really lovely. They kind of looked into selling through Amazon, but then decided that actually you want to be in control of your product and the quality, and how the customer receives and so on. I think that's really nice. But what I wanted to go back over is, how did you deal when, like you said, it was quite challenging because everyone was asking you, like, what are you doing? And like, should you go to corporate and so on? How do you overcome this? Because I think that may be quite difficult if you've got a big dream, but everyone around you is telling you, like, you know, calm down, you need to take some steps first, and not necessarily encouraging you to do what you want to do. How did you deal with that?
It was a little challenging at first, but I was kind of like, I want to live for myself, and like whatever I want to do, especially like if my like immediate family supports me, and like my fiance, like at the time he was supporting me and everything. I was like, that's, you know what, that's all that matters to me. And I'm excited. I was nervous, but I was excited that I had that support behind me. So that was a really big like thing for me, and it was very helpful throughout the journey. A couple challenges that I had was, I want to say, just not knowing a lot and not having a coach to go through. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't really know the world of business coaching at that time. I didn't even know that existed. Even though actually my uncle, he's a business coach. He's actually a coach. And I was like, how did I not know? Like, yeah, you can do this. Like, I'm so surprised. So I'm like, it's very interesting. And now like we connect a lot more because of that. And it's something that he helps me out a lot and stuff. So.
That's amazing. You mentioned that it was obviously a little bit scary at the start, and you had some challenges. What would you say were the biggest challenges right at the start? Like what difficulties did you come across?
Well, I think the first thing was kind of learning everything, because you wear a lot of hats. You had like, my biggest thing, honestly, was taxes. I am not into accounting or anything like that. So I was like, oh my God, like, I honestly don't know, like, any of this stuff. And when I was applying to get, like, my tax ID number and everything, I was like, I have no idea these questions. I don't know what you're asking me. I don't know. Luckily, my mom was like, she's an accountant, so she knew exactly, like, she helped me out through it, but I was like, oh my God, like, that's something I don't know. So that was a huge challenge. I think another one also was kind of like financially. I used up like money that I saved up from working from college. So I had a really small budget. And so having to make sure like I use that money strategically so that I can keep going was very difficult at first, especially because I didn't know what I was doing. And I like started like taxes, like I accidentally put in the wrong number when I was going ahead and like applying for it. So they were charging me, like, I think it was like, I can't remember, $1,100 or something. And I was like, what, for what? Like, I haven't even started yet. I don't know what I'm doing. So like so just stuff like that, I was like, oh my God, I'm spending here. So so budgeting was a big thing for me, especially using like my college savings. Like, I worked part-time jobs, like, college jobs. So it wasn't a big budget, but I made it work, and it's
I guess it taught you how to manage your budget wisely, because you didn't have unlimited resources. So you had to be creative at what to spend money on. And I know you didn't just make your own product, you were actually importing products. Like, you didn't go the easy way. You have actually set up a proper, fully functional business.
Yeah, I mean, I had suppliers in China that I was contacting and kind of seeing products, getting samples of it. Designing my own products. I mean, I'm like, the rope baskets that I'm currently selling, they have the design is actually my design. You won't find it anywhere else. So that's the cool thing. Like, I learned a lot. Like, that's the thing. Like, it was everything. Like how to like handle like suppliers, and how to handle like everything, even freight. Like, I didn't know anything about customs. I learned so much about customs and what you need to do when you have a freight forwarder and all these things. And I was like, I never learned this stuff in college, like, I went to a really good school. It's just like, I just didn't learn that stuff. You only learn it when you're like, right, like you're in it. So it was a good experience. And And now I actually put my stuff in Amazon. So like at first I didn't really want to. I wanted to do my own thing, and now I like ship my stuff to Amazon after I like checked it and seen it and everything. So that was another thing about it. Like now I've learned the how to ship your stuff to Amazon and how to handle that. So definitely always learning new things.
But I guess that's helping you because now you have started your other business, which is obviously what your initial dream was of being working and being of service and working in the service industry. So you kind of have got two things on the go. How are you coping with this? Because like you pretty much like not only just diving straight to the business, but diving from one business to another and still having two things on the go.
Yes. So I can't honestly remember how I got into business coaching, like how I learned about it and like knew that this was a thing, I guess. But I think I was scrolling through Facebook or something like that. I kind of just like interacted with someone who was, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, I've always wanted to do a service. This is the kind of service I wanted to do. I just didn't know I can do it. And I was like, I want to dive right into it. And I was kind of like, I was like, you know what, this is a time for me. And I was actually deciding whether I should just quit my other business and do this one, or and actually we were speaking about it. We talked about it a little bit and stuff, and you were kind of telling me, why don't you do both? Like, why are you trying to like compromise and like leave something? You don't have to leave something. I was like, you're right. Like, I'm actually learning so much from the other business to put on for like my coaching. So it's kind of a good balance, like I'm using both of them, and I'm doing new things with Noonie, and at the same time I'm doing new things with the business coaching. So it was definitely a good decision to do both. It gets kind of hectic at times, to be honest. There's especially if I want to do something for Noonie, but I want to do something for my coaching at the same time, and so and then also I want to do family time, and it gets all hectic sometimes, but I like it. I mean, it's a fun journey, and every day is something new.
I can imagine. I think what is amazing about you and and the women that are working with you, what they're really lucky about is the fact that you have set up business right from scratch on your own. You are the person doing everything and you're still running it and learning. So who they get to work with is someone who has been there, done it, still doing it and still learning. And it's not just about the coaching business, because you can coach someone how to become a coach. You're doing it, but you can also coach women on how to set up tangible businesses with actual physical products and, how to design the products and so on. So this isn't just about how to be a coach and have a coaching business, but also there's so many other industries that, people from those industries can come to you and you'll be able to help them. I think that's really, that's quite unique, especially for someone, relatively young in the business world, but already doing so much. I think that's a really great thing. So if you were to give the people who are watching us 3 tips for business, what would you say? What would you share with them? Or are there any tools or methods or techniques that really helped you to set up your first business or running both of them?
Definitely. To be honest with you, I feel like number one is you have to be patient. I mean, honestly, patience is everything. When I first started, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to order all these rope baskets, and I'm going to just like order again like the next day, because I'm going to be selling like that. There's going to just, but it wasn't like that, it was different. And there is a lot of marketing that had to be put behind it and a lot of things that I learned. And so but number one was be patient. It's okay if like you don't sell everything like that, like the next day. I literally was like contacting like suppliers. I was thinking that, but I was like, you know what, like, no, you have to be patient, and like, when you need to contact them, like the time will come, so it's okay. So being patient with that is like so important. Also learn from your mistakes. Mistakes happen all the time. Now I know how to handle like the tax, like the tax that we have to pay and stuff. That's something I didn't know before. And so learn from your mistakes. Sometimes you have things that will come up and you're like, oh snap, like maybe it's a marketing campaign that didn't go well, or maybe it's something that a product that doesn't really, I mean, I got products that I wanted to put on my website and I was like, I don't really like these, to be honest. And so they kind of just went to gifts and things like that. Like, you just learn from your mistakes. Like, it's okay to make mistakes, but learn from them. So not only just have them like that. And lastly, have fun with it. I am having a lot of fun because you can do whatever you would like. You want to make a creative campaign, like marketing campaign, you can do it. You want to do something, a creative product, you can do it. Like, it's so crazy how many things you can do with just like a little bit, and now we can do everything from our computers. We can contact so many people, and we can contact people around the world, like I met you like through Facebook groups and stuff. Like, it's amazing how we can just connect with other people, get ideas, learn from each other. I mean, that's one of the biggest things, like I'm actually writing a book right now to help people. Yeah, to help people who want to start their own business. And so it's actually like, I never thought I'd be writing a book, but I'm so excited about it and love writing it and seeing how that journey is going to go. So always have fun. Like, that's the most important thing to do. So
that's amazing. So patience, learn from your mistakes, and always have fun. And I'm hoping to get a signed copy of the book, of course.
Of course. Oh, of course.
That's really lovely. And last question. So for people who maybe are watching and think, oh, I have this big dream, I really want to do this business, but I'm unsure about it because, it's quite big and scary and so on. What would you say? What can help them to make that decision?
If I can do it, you can do it. Really. I mean, like, just do it now. It is something, like, even if you want to start a little bit, I know people are working like full time, or it's kind of a scary jump to do, but if you just start by researching what you want to do, or start by, just kind of start building it up a little bit, because I mean, market research takes a long time to do. Just start, do whatever you want, but go after your dreams. Like, that's I mean, I know it's cliche, but it's very important, like, because it'll make you happy. It'll make you, like, if you're working overtime, then like, you're like, it's okay because I'm working for something for myself. When when you're working in like another job or something and you're not feeling well about it. So that's the thing. Like, I think that you should just start now. I know it's not easy, and if I can do it alone, like, I'm sure you can. Google is your friend, coaches are your friends. You have a lot of resources, a lot of people out there that want to help. Like, we're coaches, we love to help people, we want to be there for them, and so just start anywhere. So yes, I believe to do it today. That's the biggest advice that I can ever give.
Wonderful. Well, I think that's a fantastic advice. I also always think that we only live once, so might as well make the most of it and follow your dreams. It's been an incredible pleasure to have you here tonight, Sarah. I really love the fact that you were talking about, connecting with people around the world. I mean, I'm in the UK, you're in the US, we're having a chat. It's brilliant. And, relatively not that long ago, that wouldn't even be a possibility, or, people would think that that's crazy idea. But now we're in each other's homes, being on the other sides of the world. So thank you so much for your time. And underneath the video, I will post all of your contacts so people can find you, because I'm sure there's so many people who would love to work with you and learn from you. So it's been a massive pleasure, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nina. I really appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.